All right, here we go. A man charged with Palm Springs Fertility Clinic bombing. We already saw the picture earlier.
A man is charged in last month's Palm Springs Fertility Clinic bombing after he was arrested at JFK Airport.
By Andy
32-year-old Daniel Park of
one.
Seattle, accused now of providing chemicals to make the explosives in last month's bombing, which injured 4 people and killed the bomber.
Mr. Park, who shares Barkis's extremist beliefs, is accused of shipping approximately 180 pounds of ammonium nitrate, an explosive precursor commonly used to construct homemade bombs, to Barkis.
Officials allege both men spent about 2 weeks together in California earlier this year conducting experiments in the bomber's garage. The complaint against Park says the FBI recovered large quantities of chemicals and lab equipment in that garage after the bombing.
Well, there you have it. He's an accessory to the crime. What's this one? 3 young girls missing from Washington State found dead. Father wanted for murder.
Developing at 542, police in Washington State are searching for a man they say kidnapped and killed his own 3 daughters. 9-year-old
we talked
Peyton,
about this one
8-year-old
yesterday too.
Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker
that's
were
when
found
the
dead
case
near a campground in the small
was
town of
announced.
Leavenworth. Now authorities say it appears they'd been suffocated, and police have been searching overnight for their father, who is 32-year-old Travis Decker, accusing him of killing the girls during a court-approved visit.
Having my own
I mean,
daughter,
it's a
well, like, that's
I mean,
shocking. I don't know what this mother is going through.
because
It's
if they were
probably
found
against
dead
the
and then
health
no one's
So when the
around
girls did
them, who
not
the
return
fuck,
home
right? It's
Friday,
like,
their
ooh,
mother
that's
reported them
where's the
missing,
guardian?
but
What the
authorities
fuck
say
happened?
The case did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. Those criteria includes reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred and a law enforcement belief that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death.
There you have it.
We start tonight with developing news after reports of sightings of Travis Decker. The man you see here, he is wanted for killing 3 of his own daughters. And investigators say that those original sightings that we were hearing about earlier in the day weren't Decker after all. Now, all that news comes after talk of him being spotted in both Idaho and in the Wenatchee area.
But we are getting new ring camera video from the Chelan County Sheriff's Office showing Decker from the days leading up to his visitation with his daughters. It's giving us a better visual of Decker and his current appearance. You can see he has a ponytail in this ring video that you're seeing right there leaning into the shot.
We also have some new images showing his appearance from the days leading up to his visitation. The Sheriff's Office says they gathered new information about him as well. The big takeaways here: Decker is well-versed in wilderness survival and capable of spending days or even weeks in the woods with little equipment. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for Fox 13 News at 9. I'm
He's someone who's trained.
And I'm Sabir Rayford. Fox 13's Alejandro Guzman is joining us live from Wenatchee. Ali, investigators say he could be hiding anywhere.
That's right. As you guys mentioned, this manhunt is still ongoing tonight. Specifically, we're focusing on some of the challenges officials are currently facing because, as you guys mentioned, Sheriff Morrison is saying that Decker is essentially a survivalist who could essentially live out off the grid for months on end if that were the case. He said he spoke to his father, who told him that this is a hobby that he cultivated his entire life, but yet he remains optimistic tonight that the father will be brought to justice for his actions.
Clearly, this is not the outcome we wanted to see.
As the search for Travis Decker continues in Chelan County, the community of Wenatchee is remembering the young lives of Peyton, Olivia, and Evelyn.
It's not the decision of a sound mind, and these young girls were a victim.
Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison is confident Travis Decker will be found despite his ability to survive outdoors for months at a time. A hobby Decker's father says he cultivated as a young boy.
So we understand that that's a possibility, that he could have scoped out this area before, put supplies out there, and has the ability and the knowledge to survive for a long period of time.
Decker has about a 3-day head start. Morrison says U.S. Marshals have tracked down leads, giving them an insight into Decker's mindset. In the meantime, helicopters have been expanding their search after Morrison says they spotted a shirt in Icicle Creek. A swift water rescue team was also brought in to comb through the 8-mile stretch body of water.
But at this time, we have not found Travis. My message is still the same. Travis, if you're out there seeing us, we'd like you to turn yourself in. We want a peaceful resolution to this.
Many communities gathered once again in honor of these 3 little girls, lighting candles and sharing silent prayers. A $20,000 reward for any information that leads to Decker's arrest still stands. Sheriff
There's
Morrison
a manhunt
tells me that he even
for
heard
the
of sightings as
father
far away as
accused.
Texas, and he says that while their search does continue here on the ground, they are relying on this multi-agency and, of course, out-of-state agencies to help
given
them
that there's 3
prove the
kids
validity
who are
of these
deceased
sightings.
now, and
But of course, they're encouraging
there's no
everyone
one to
only
right.
call 911 if you do
Like, well, the
encounter
closest people
Decker
to
on a
them
one-on-one
were the
basis,
family
never
members
if
or
it's
the
rumor
guardians.
or online chatter. But
So,
again, you're encouraged
yeah.
not to approach him. Instead, call 911 immediately. As for
Well, I mean,
what's
the
next
fact
in this
that
case, we
well,
do
it
know
might be
the
dangerous, right?
autopsy results of these 3 little girls will be released
So that's why
tomorrow,
you
which
contact the
Sheriff
police.
Morrison expects that will paint a
Policia,
clear
policia.
timeline of what really happened. Of course, we're going to stay on top of that and bring you the latest. For now, we're live in Wenatchee. I'm Alejandra Guzman.
There you have it. Fuck Seattle. CCP ties. Chinese couple charged with smuggling toxic fungus into the U.S. Yeah, we talked about this earlier today. Or the last videos
A Chinese
that I
couple
put
with
up on
ties to the
YouTube.
CCP is facing federal
Oh yeah,
charges
check everything
after
out
being
on
accused of smuggling
YouTube
a potential
because yeah, I got a bunch of
agricultural
content
terror
there if you
weapon
guys
into the
want to check it
country.
out. I
National
got 2
correspondent Matt
YouTubes,
Gelko
one
reports
for
from Washington.
games and one for just news
These
stuff.
pictures show what federal authorities say are a Chinese toxic fungus seized in Michigan last year. The FBI called it a potential agro-terrorism weapon, with Director Kash Patel saying in part, the Chinese Communist Party continues to deploy operatives and researchers to infiltrate our institutions and target our food supply.
This fungus, this pathogen, would
Yeah, we read the
directly
article
affect and destroy
earlier
our crops.
today.
Can you imagine the
'Cause it
Chinese
came out
with some
yesterday,
kind
I
of a
think?
plot to undermine the United States by
And
going
then I
after our
forgot
food
to
supply?
I didn't
2
stream because
Chinese
I was like
nationals,
super
Young King
tired.
Jian and her boyfriend, Zunyang Lu, were charged with multiple counts including conspiracy to defraud the United States, smuggling, and making false statements. The complaint against them was unsealed Tuesday when Jian also appeared in court.
They're seeking your detention based on the fact that you present a serious risk of flight. Do you understand all that?
Yes.
According to the criminal complaint against the couple, authorities found the toxic fungus in Lu's
Well,
backpack
given what
at
she
the
did,
Detroit
I mean,
airport
yeah,
last summer. They say he lied
gotta
about
think
it at
she's a
first,
fucking
then
risk
confessed he
after
tried to
the
hide
shit
it.
she pulled.
Lu and Jian are both researchers that worked with the fungus, and Lu said he was taking it to the University of Michigan lab Jian worked at. The toxic fungus baggies were discovered tucked into a wad of tissues with a note written in Chinese and filter paper with a drawing. Officials said the fungus can impact crops including wheat, barley, maize, and rice. It can cause vomiting, liver damage, and reproductive problems in humans and livestock. The charges come as the State
This is
Department
basically
has vowed to
eco-terrorism
aggressively revoke
or
visas of Chinese
bioterrorism.
students.
The full force of law
Fucking
should
with
come down on them.
people's
We should prevent
fucking
anyone associated with the
foods,
CCP from being at any of our
farmlands
universities.
and
The
stuff.
complaint alleges the Chinese government has paid for some of Jian's research, and she has pledged loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party. Jian is in custody. Lu was not allowed into the country and remains at large. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelko.
Ah, that's what happens when you fucking do that kind of shit. Now you're fucking an enemy of the goddamn... now you're an enemy of the United States of America. Yeah, that's real fucking bad. They view you as basically a terrorist in that sense. An eco-terrorist. Oh my god, does Ukraine surprise drone attack signal a change in the war?
Welcome back, everyone. It was an unprecedented
Welcome back, everyone. It was an unprecedented and well-executed Ukrainian drone operation deep inside Russia this weekend, followed today by a similarly brazen underwater attack on the Russian-built bridge connecting the Russian mainland to Crimea, the Ukrainian peninsula.
Yeah, so
Russia
they
has
attacked the
occupied now
bridge
for more
and then
than a
hit.
decade. Call it guerrilla tactics, call it
Hit
asymmetrical
the
warfare. But can Ukraine's bold operations actually force a recalcitrant
whatchamacallit?
Vladimir
Yeah, these
Putin to the
planes.
negotiating table? We'll talk to ABC News military
Can you
analyst
react to
Steve Gagnon about that
Freestyle by
shortly. But
Juice
first,
WRLD?
our
Who's
Tom
Juice
Sophie
WRLD?
Burge has this report.
I don't know who Juice WRLD is.
It was a
Is that
series of
music?
stunning strikes on
I can't
Russian
really do
airfields,
music.
damaging or destroying, Ukraine says, about a third of Russia's fleet of strategic bombers. Codenamed Operation Spiderweb,
Juice
the
WRLD?
attack was 18 months in the making. Ukraine's
Oh,
security
yeah,
service
sorry.
smuggling 150
Yeah,
rudimentary
no,
quadcopter
not my
drones
thing.
into
Sorry.
Russia, concealing them in secret compartments in containers. Russian truck drivers then unwittingly transporting those containers to locations close to 5 military air bases.
If
3
it
in
has
Western
anything to
Russia
do with like
and 2 in
modern
Far
age
Eastern
rap
Siberia.
and hip hop and stuff like that, yeah, no thanks.
On
Sorry.
Sunday, the roofs of those containers suddenly opening, and the drones loaded with explosives taking off. Each drone, Ukraine says, then piloted remotely towards a target.
Juice WRLD,
Russia's defenses
Makonnen,
caught off guard,
Freestyle,
the drones hurtling into those bombers parked on the ground, some of them capable of carrying nuclear weapons.
Well, I mean, that's
Satellite
not
imagery
what I'm
showed
doing right
several
now.
badly damaged planes
Maybe
at
later,
2 of the
but
Russian air
I mean,
bases. Ukraine's secret service saying it destroyed
why do you want me to
a dozen
react to
aircraft
music?
and
I'm
damaged
sorry.
around 30 more. It was a remarkable move from Ukraine, proving that despite being outgunned and outnumbered on the battlefield,
I would
it can still
appreciate
land
it.
impressive and embarrassing blows to the Kremlin, destroying the very aircraft which
Well,
have
I
been
don't,
pounding
because you
Ukrainian
did it in the
cities
middle of
with
my
cruise
news
and ballistic
production.
missiles
News
for
stuff.
more than 3 years. And not for the first time, Ukraine showing the world new ways of waging war. Pioneering
Oh no,
tactics,
they got the
destroying
no. You can't show
sophisticated
this.
aircraft
You can't
built for tens of
You
millions
can't
of
show the
dollars,
drone
with
technology to
drones
fuck people
costing
up. That's not
just
cool.
a few hundred. The ingenuity of Ukraine's attack reminiscent of Israel's covert operation against Hezbollah
I just
in
enjoy
Lebanon.
it and would want other people's
Pages of
reactions.
walkie-talkies
I
secretly
understand
loaded
that,
with
but I mean,
explosives distributed to Hezbollah and used
I
by
hate to
its
say it.
members. The pages
Given
simultaneously
who's
exploding.
I
Then
think
the walkie-talkies
did
the day after,
I say
killing
it?
more than
Oh,
30
no, I didn't.
people, wounding around 3,000.
Given who
Russia's
Juice
still
WRLD is, I'm
reeling from
probably
Sunday's drone
not
strikes,
going to like the
another
music.
Ukrainian operation.
I'm
Ukraine's
just
Secret
telling you
Service
now.
releasing this video saying it caused a powerful underwater explosion.
Yeah, he's
on
a
part of the
rapper.
vast
I don't-
bridge linking Russia to Crimea. No official comment from Russia so far, and there were no casualties. In Ukraine overnight, Russia's striking back, attacking
It has
the center
melodic
of the northern
music.
Ukrainian city of Sumy with cluster munitions, killing at least 4 people
So like
and
Justin
injuring
Bieber.
more than 20 more. Moscow demonstrating it
You
still
know,
has
a
many
lot
more
of the
bombers and
music,
missiles,
right? A lot of
vast
rappers have
stocks
been
of
putting a
lethal
lot of
drones
like
to
ED,
continue
right, mixing their
escalating its
stuff with
war.
the EDM
But
and
Ukraine is still
whatnot. So it's
savouring
like,
its success. President Zelensky calling that drone operation brilliant, and without naming the US, saying it shows allies that have wavered in their support that Ukraine is strong and will not surrender.
Those drone attacks.
In an interview with our Martha Raddatz, Zelensky warning Russia will pay a price if the war goes on.
I just want to show you it's not rap. It's
Russian and Ukrainian
R&B.
delegations meeting for less than 90 minutes Monday in Istanbul, making no progress towards ending the war. Russia is now reportedly mounting a major summer offensive in eastern Ukraine. Today, one of Putin's top officials calling for the complete destruction of the Ukrainian regime and promising an even harsher retribution for that devastating Ukrainian drone attack deep inside Russian territory.
There it goes. Well, I mean that's what war is. I don't know. Oh my God, they're doing war tactics. Who would have known? It's a mix of R&B and many different styles. Yeah, that's what a lot of musicians do throughout their career. They change their styles. You know, keep them fresh. This guy is unique. He freestyles all of his music. You could say that the same to like Big L, Big E, right? Biggie Smalls. I mean, some of those guys did it too. I don't know. Well, what the? I'm sorry. I just view all this stuff the same. So like, music is just noise to me. Okay, fine. What? He made his platinum album in 3 days. Okay, so. Am I supposed to like him for that? So I don't put musicians on a fucking pedestal like most people do. Let's see. Alright, let's see what we got. Man arrested in New York. Linked to California fertility clinic explosion.
We begin the 8 o'clock hour
we
with this
already
breaking news. The FBI has arrested a man in connection with the explosion at a fertility clinic
Thanks,
in
guys.
Palm
Have an
Springs
amazing
last
night.
month. The man
Mastering
has been
cybersecurity.
identified,
Oh,
according
nice.
to sources, as
From New
32-year-old
York?
Daniel Park
Yeah,
of
New
Kent,
York.
Washington. He was taken into custody
Where
at
everything is
JFK
happening.
Airport in New York last night. It's not clear how
yes.
this man is linked to the explosion. We expect to hear those details in a news conference
New
later this
York.
morning. The blast injured 4 people and killed the primary suspect, who's been identified as Edward Bartkus.
Yeah, I've been
Investigators have
checking out
trying to
all the,
determine if he had any help.
some of
An
the cases,
official
or
motive for
the
the explosion remains under investigation. However,
stuff.
federal prosecutors say evidence, including writing,
Attach a
indicates
S7 to
Bartkus
my
supported
chest.
an
It's okay.
anti-natalist
I don't need that kind of
ideology.
coverage.
We'll
There's
have
been
an
a
update
lot
on
of
the
people who have been
investigation later this
covering
morning.
it. There's also the inner sit on Twitter. I forgot what they're called, but there's also a just a cold raw reading of the transcript, or I guess a transcript of the trial. But you know, there's a lot of people doing stuff for it. New video emerges. Boulder attacks. Oh yeah, yeah. I heard the. Yeah, the Boulder attack. Apparently, the family was detained, but then the judges stopped the deportation. It's a bit oversaturated. I mean, because the topic is Diddy. Especially with all the shit that's been happening. Basically, a lower level Epstein case.
And 5 children of the man
A
accused in
20-minute drive
Sunday's
from where
violent
Diddy
attack
and is being
the
held.
wife
Oh
and
shit, really?
5 children
Nice.
of the man
You can
accused
see
in
Sam
Sunday's violent
Bankman-Fried
attack in
too, right?
Colorado are now in custody, and they could soon be deported.
Isn't Sam?
Mohammed Solomon
There's
is
some
facing dozens
there's some
of charges,
interesting
including
criminals
attempted
over there.
murder
yeah.
and a federal hate crime after allegedly using Molotov cocktails on a peaceful group of marchers. Now this, as we get a new look at cell phone video, the
Yeah,
police
Luigi
say
too, yeah.
shows the attack. You're
Yeah,
seeing some of
Luigi's
it
in the
right
same
here. Jason
in-prison
Allen
system.
is in Boulder, Colorado, and joins us now with more. Good morning, Jason. Tell us about this new cell phone video and the immigration issue the suspect and his family now face.
Yeah, good morning, Errol. One of the key things about this new video is it shows that second eruption of flame. That's from one of the 2 Molotov cocktails that the suspect is accused of throwing. And I think also key in this new video is it shows the way that people there in the march and others around the Pearl Street Mall here in Boulder reacted. Specifically, there's one gentleman who runs from the scene.
Oh
after that
shit!
second
Oh man,
cocktail
he's
was
actually.
thrown and
Oh,
goes
he
across, and
actually
there's some
throw.
restaurants
You
and
can
shops located
actually
just
see him
across,
throw it at the
the
lady.
area from
That's
this,
fucked
the
up.
old courthouse where this attack happened, and he just starts yelling for water, 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 water. and he runs it back and hands it to somebody.
So
and then
many
he makes
immigrants
repeated
here
trips
where
back to
they
that
play
little
hockey.
cafe to get bottles.
Literally
of
put
water.
up
We
15
talked to
tents
that young
covering
man.
all
He
open
is
lot
actually
space.
from
Used to be
Israel,
airport.
traveling
Jesus.
here in the United States. He had just finished
Yeah,
his
we got
military service.
in California
And he told
they're
us in the
under
moment
bridges
that
and
he
shit,
actually
right?
felt calm, that his military service training
or
kicked in, and that he
fucking Skid
essentially just
Row.
went to work, and then later even sort of separating the attacker from the rest of the group to kind of keep the peace until
Yeah, or
police
downtown,
could
yep.
arrive. Now let's also talk about, as you mentioned, the immigration issue, and that's with the family of Mohammed Solomon. So we know that Department of Homeland Security has taken his wife and his 5 children into custody. The White House
Yeah, I
had
wonder
said
why
that
they did that.
could be
Oh, because
deported
maybe
even
they
as
think
soon as last night.
they
They
could
said
be an
soon, and then they also
accessory,
said
so
maybe
they,
as
I
soon as
guess they
last night.
wanna
There's some questions
vet
still
them.
exactly as to, given what their immigration status is, if they'll be eligible or
shit.
not for that quick deportation.
just fucking did the right thing.
Without
Downtown is a strip of
hearing in front of a
bums.
judge, but they are in custody now while FBI and Homeland Security continue to investigate Errol.
Well,
what
at least
they
it's
knew,
not as bad as
if
right. It's
anything, about
at
the
least it's not
planning
like
that went
UK
into this
land
attack.
when you
Alright,
got
Jason, we
when you
appreciate
got
the
them
update joining us
fucking
from
doing
Bogota.
it
Thank
out
you.
in the open, like trying to fuck each other. There's signs that says no having sex, basically. Like, what the fuck? AIDS in the way. Ukraine drones target Russian warplanes at Delglivo Air Base. Yeah, we saw this already. They hit Putin's bridge, wasn't that months ago? That was a different bridge, I think. They also, the bridge they shot, it was another bridge. It was the bridge to Crimea. It was like Crimea and to the mainland or some shit. I forgot. But yeah, they did. They hit these planes and then they hit another bridge. Is something similar to a brand new infrastructure bridge that just finished building? Yeah, this bridge right here. The Russian-built Crimea bridge, hit with underwater explosive. Also, it didn't break. They just hit like a small section of it. Wait, what? Yeah, this bridge collapse. Yeah, this is the bridge they hit. Oh, you want to search up last year? Oh, oops, not this year. Well, I can't search up last year. Don't. Year ago. I guess I gotta say 2024. Oops. Mistyped. Yeah, it doesn't help when... No, that didn't do it. Go back, it said it again on the YouTube title? Which one? These are all from a day ago. 2 days ago, 1 day ago. There's none from 1 year ago. I don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, it'd be better just to... I mean, it'd be better to look on AI, to be honest. If you really want to fucking bridge attack. The blue title thumbnail? What, this one? Russia-Ukraine latest? I mean, there's this one. There's France 24. I don't know what you're talking about. Said bridge attack? I mean, we just looked at the bridge attack. You mean this? This one? The Kirsch Bridge? Well, I mean, the Kirsch Bridge was the other attack. Wait. You're Mammoth? Nice to meet you. The fucking name. Wait, what about this one? Ukraine strikes the Kerch Bridge again. Okay.
Well, Ukraine attacked the Kerch Bridge again for the third time, so let's get into
Yeah, the third time.
what we know. The Ukrainian military put out a statement saying, quote,
Well, I mean, the reason why they don't say a year ago is because they did it again. So they're resetting the clock. Because this is one of the main bridges. They're going to keep attacking this main bridge. I don't what? What you doing now? Just looking at news? Huh? I just remember the same type of attack happened a year ago. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, that's just literally how war is. I don't know.
So let the record reflect
I don't know what to tell you.
So let the record reflect that Spartacus did not answer the question and did not tell us whether the criminal law should be enforced, because he knows
have
the
a head
answer
out.
is
Good
yes.
night. All right,
I will
have a
also
good one.
point out that
Thanks
the
for coming
discussion
by, and
about
thanks you
the
for the
urgency of
follow.
protecting the safety of judges. Listen, I agree. We should protect
Or
the
did you?
safety
I don't even
of
know.
every federal judge.
Thanks for
but it is
chat, sorry.
interesting because my Democrat colleagues were utterly silent during 4 years of the Biden administration when you had violent mobs outside the homes of Supreme Court justices unhappy with the Supreme Court's ruling in Dobbs, and the Biden Justice Department refused to enforce federal law and protect the justices. And my Democrat colleagues were perfectly happy with Supreme Court justices being threatened if they disliked the rulings that were coming from the Supreme Court justices.
This implication that there was silence when there were threats on their people's houses is absolutely absurd.
Well, I mean, there were some threats. I mean, you had some FBI raid some people's houses sometimes that didn't deserve to be raided.
I remember the rhetoric.
There are cases about
the
that
comments,
shit, too.
The concern from Coons. I actually distinctly remember you, Chairman, on more than once condemning those attacks on Republican-appointed jurists. To say things like that feeds...
Well, it wasn't that, too. I mean, you were going after literally families. Whether Republican or not. You're literally going after families. You were going after school, right, parents of schools, too. Because they were trying to, right, talk about their fucking school doing shady shit.
Feeds just the partisanship
for their
of this
children.
and feeds the fiery rhetoric. And it's just plain not true.
Night after night after night, angry mobs were outside
Oh
the
yeah,
Supreme
here,
Court
yeah,
justices' homes.
yeah. He talks about it right here.
And in the entire course of it, the Biden Justice Department prosecuted nobody. We had the Attorney General sitting at that table, and multiple Republican senators asked him, why are you not enforcing the law? What they are doing is a crime. And my friend from New Jersey said, it is a lie to say we, the Democrats, condone this. I would challenge, my friend, find a single Democrat senator on this committee holding the Attorney General to account for not enforcing this law.
I really appreciate that you've now shifted the accusation you made earlier. Your accusation was that we were silent in the face of protests at Supreme Court justices' homes. So if you're saying that we didn't criticize
Did the
Merrick
Biden
Garland,
DOJ arrest a single person under this law?
you are now changing the
No, that is what I said. That is what I said.
Again, I'll pull the record.
Did the Biden DOJ
I'll pull
arrest
the
even
record.
one?
Again,
The answer is no.
my point to you is the accusation that the Democrats on this committee do not care about the safety
All right, so let me
of
ask you
federal
this.
judges.
Should
I
the
did not
Biden
interrupt you,
DOJ
sir. I would
Well, I mean, you
appreciate
tried to fuck with federal judges when it came
I'm
to the
simply
Roe v.
taking
Wade
issue
situation.
with the
Remember
claim
that?
you made at the
You
top,
had
that
your
people on the
constituents
Democratic
do
side of the
and other
aisle
judges,
do
right?
not
Other
care about the
politicians do some
safety
shady
and
shit.
the security of judges and said nothing. You said we were silent after people's houses were protested. That is a patent lie, sir.
So I do enjoy the fact that my colleague from New Jersey raises his voice and says it's a patent lie and says he's doing so in defense of lowering the rhetoric. There is some irony.
Lowering the and then the rhetoric that the Democrats do, that's not rhetoric they're doing. That's like actual action that they're conveying.
Senator of this committee saying a word when Chuck
Like,
Schumer
are they
went to
really
the
doing
steps of the
rhetoric? No,
Supreme
I don't
Court
think
and
so.
threatened the
They really
safety of
hate
the
white
Supreme
people.
Court justices by name, Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, and he said,
I mean,
"You
just
have
look at what
unleashed
Fannie
the
Willis and all
and
those
you will
fucking
pay
people
the
are
price."
saying. Tiffany
And
Henyard?
not a
Well, I don't
single
know. Well,
Democrat
Tiffany
senator
Henyard's
had a
out
word
now,
to say
but
about this. And so their outrage is selective.
Brianna Wu.
So the rank
Shady ass
hypocrisy of Chuck
motherfuckers.
Schumer apologizing the next day, and you holding that standard for him and not for your president, you are very, very, sir, very, very deep.
Oh,
into the
also
water
they
of
like this.
hypocrisy in your
Yeah,
criticisms
Cory
of
Book.
Chuck
Wait,
Schumer.
is this
So let the record reflect.
Wait, oh wait, he's
that
in Padilla's
Spartacus
seat
did not
for some
answer the
reason.
question
But Cory
and
Booker
did
is a
not tell us
well-known
whether the
filibuster.
criminal law should be
I mean,
enforced
just look
because
at what he
knows
did
the
when he did
answer is
that
yes.
25 hours.
And he knows that the Biden Department of Justice
Just
was
talking-
being
just
wildly
talking
political
shit.
and partisan in
For
refusing to
25
enforce the
hours.
law because they disagreed with the Supreme Court justices' rulings.
All right, there you have it. Oh, the Six Flags, we like to party. We like to party. Do 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 do. What do we got here? Oh wow, so we shouldn't pay attention to the polls. I mean, you should take the polls with a grain of salt, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's good to have some of that data,
really, for
but
the first 4
obviously
months of the
not
year,
all
they're
polls
stellar.
are 100%
They're really stellar.
correct.
I mean, I could
right?
go back and look at the first 4 months of many different years. Really very strong numbers, and you're right. This administration is criticized for just about everything under the sun. I've never, ever
Think
in
of
my lifetime
polls
had
as
glimpses into the
segmented
politics of an
samples.
administration in the form of transparency.
And you have
like
to
this
add
one.
up those samples with all the other polls.
51% of
in a
Americans
sense.
approve of the job Donald Trump is doing.
Yeah, you would
That's why
think
you should
after
look at
all
multiple
of the waves,
polls.
Kate Baldwin, after the last few months, the first 5 months of the Donald Trump presidency, right, the first 4 months of the Donald Trump presidency, that you expect that Democrats would have this massive lead on the economy. It ain't so. It ain't so. The party that is closest to your economic views.
Oh,
in
yeah,
November
she
of
has brought up
2023,
this
it was the
one,
Republicans
yeah.
by 11 points. Now it's still within that range, still within that margin of error. Plus 8-point advantage for the Republican Party. How is that possible, Democrats? How is that possible after all the recession fears, after the stock market's been doing all of this, after all the tariffs that Americans are against, and Republicans still hold an 8-point lead on the economy? Are you kidding me?
Meanwhile, the poll also asks which party best reflects their view on a range of issues. And when it comes to crime, the economy, immigration, Republicans still hold an advantage, although actually those numbers are starting to slip. How did you think about this poll as you were looking through?
I couldn't help but be reminded about a big problem in my part of the world, the econ part of the world. We can't get a clean read on how consumers feel about the economy because the data has been infected by partisanship. It really in an
What do you mean? Just don't go to the news media sites. Just go to independent right people. Just go to the front lines people.
So
meaning
they'll
your
fucking tell you all you
partisanship
need to know.
reflects whether or not you think the economy is good or not?
Do people think the economy is not doing well, or do they just not like who's in the
I mean,
White
shit,
House?
you can go
This is a
check
huge
the
problem
fucking
right now, and
grocery,
it's
right?
making it
Go
impossible to
buy,
get that
go,
clarity that
right? Go
economists like
every
to
2
see
weeks,
about
buy
how
certain
consumers are
groceries,
doing,
and
do
then
they
see
intend to
your
spend,
fucking
makes it
see
impossible
your
to
goddamn
forecast.
receipts
We
after.
can't get a clean read on how consumers feel about the economy because the data
What-
has been infected by partisanship.
Oh, how convenient.
Oh, yeah. Oh no, we're not doing it. They're doing it. No, it's you. I give you the Uno reverse. It is you. Fucking stupid.
Well, if you've ever walked in parts of San Francisco's Mission District, you've likely seen the prolific black market of stolen goods.
Yes, but the Mission now has one more problem to contend with, the dramatic increase of people using drugs on the street.
What do you mean?
I mean, I really do.
For me, it's
Yeah.
really hard to see,
Yeah.
especially there in the Mission.
An illegal vendor allowed us to shoot video of personal hygiene products he was selling on Mission Street.
Ah.
Where did he get them
Yeah, I
from?
wonder where he got
He told
those.
us they came from this man on
Uh-oh.
the right, who allegedly stole the items from a store and sold them to the illegal vendor for a few dollars. The
Uh-oh.
vendor then resells them at a higher price. A few minutes later, that same man was headed back to a store to steal again.
I say that's the California way.
It's been up to the Department of Public Works to make sure people are not selling things illegally. But they too have been harassed and threatened. Now State Senator Scott Wiener is certain his bill will pass, allowing San Francisco police officers to cite these illegal vendors.
Yeah, so what happens is you got people who go into these businesses, steal items, and then they go on the market to sell them at a higher price,
On the third
right?
offense, they can get a misdemeanor. And on the third offense, they can get a misdemeanor.
Oh, scary. Shiver my timbers. Shut up, man.
Ironically, all of this is happening under
Oh,
the
he's a
watchful eye
fat
of
dude.
San Francisco
Yeah,
police.
some of these guys are
They
like
have
cracked
placed a
out all the
mobile
fucking
command
time.
post only a
The
few
usual
feet away.
suspects, eh?
We've been here all day,
God,
and police have not arrested a single individual for using drugs or selling drugs. Not that we've seen, okay? So what makes you believe that they will enforce this when they don't enforce, they don't stop the drug activity here?
I can't speak for why they don't make a particular arrest for drugs. I know there have been more drug arrests recently.
Would you like to see with us? What would you like to go with us to see what's
Oh, would
going
you
on
like
there?
to have a talk with some of
I'm
these?
here regularly, so I'm aware of what's going on, and it's bad.
Think about that.
We
Why
didn't
not?
hesitate
Why
to
don't you
go
just
on
want to
our
have a
own.
chat?
In less than 5 minutes,
Oh,
we
yep,
saw
someone's on it,
paramedics
yep.
from the fire department respond to 3 wellness calls for people passed
Passed out on the
street.
street, yeah, because it's
Like
kind
a
of
third
dangerous.
world country. It's very bad right now. It looks terrible.
Well, when you're passed out on the street like that, there's a number of things that might have happened, right? You might have been beaten up by someone, right? You might have been killed, right? You could be a dead corpse, who knows? Fuck it. They gotta check on you. Maybe you're having some kind of drug problem because you're a drug addict on the streets who's shooting up all the fucking time. Maybe you're going into, seizure or some shit. They gotta fucking check on you. You gotta make sure you're not dead. Alright?
Burn, baby! Burn!
I mean, that did really
That's
happen
what it's about. It's what we're
in
best
California.
at.
The
Because
Palisades.
we keep crushing it. Democrats, we keep crushing it. Look at all the elections you've won, Democrats. You keep winning. You keep outperforming. It's extraordinary. Pat yourselves on the back. Our message is working.
I don't know about that one, sir. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is about the bridge. Alright, he actually said it. What do we got here? Another outlandish Biden is a robotic clone. Well, I mean, the fact that he might have been using auto pen on certain things is why he's like, yeah, he's gonna keep pushing it. He looks different, yeah? Maybe it's the cancer.
You know the thing. You know how we
They're
talk about
fucking
we the
AI.
people. Folks.
You know the people. Oh.
Come on, man.
This is shit that works so well. Alright, let's see what we got here. Reporter made Ilhan Omar run away with one tough question.
Hello, Congresswoman. Will you support your Democrat colleague Jared Mostrowitz's calls to name the Muslim Brotherhood a foreign terrorist organization? Do you think it's important to make the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization? In Boulder, Colorado, which featured an illegal immigrant who was a part of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Well, there's so many. I hate to say it, it's not even bad words. Right. They're trying to erase political words that they don't want you to use. Right? Words that have political insinuations to them. So it's like, what the fuck? The fuck, YouTube?
Are you sure you wouldn't like to answer, Congresswoman, about...
Yeah, I think even Hassan was like, "Oh, it's my favorite flag." It was the flag with like the AK or some shit. What do we got here?
Stop whining.
Oh yeah.
Stop whining.
Stop whining.
Stop whining. Stop whining.
Oh, this is going to be good. Arnold Schwarzenegger telling you what to do again. You'd have thought he'd have learned from the Screw Your Freedom. Of course you remember that, because that's what he's known for now. All those people that might have had a bit of respect for that guy previously, totally thrown out the window with the Screw Your Freedom. And did he learn from that? Does he care? That's the other question, I suppose, isn't it? Because based on this, nope. This is his climate summit, and just you probably see there. I'll play the video in just a second, but to the right of him there is Tony Blair. In fact, it was hilarious because there were 3 people that got together to promote this: Arnold, Tony Blair, and Danny DeVito.
No.
I know. What a triplet that is. But it was meant to be as funny and bizarre as the film Twins, because they're twins, but Arnold's really big and DeVito's really small. So how did that work out? So that imagine the 3 of them together.
You know what's interesting is that every time I talk lately to environmentalists and to policy people, they say to me, says Arnold, I mean, what is the point of fighting for a clean environment when the government of the United States says climate change is a hoax?
There's that, and the whole Trump thing, which he's going to mention in just a second. But there's also, Arnold, a few things like you guys jet setting, eating the finest Wagyu beef, and doing all sorts. As the likes of you, Meghan Markle, and all the rest of you.
Yeah.
These celebrities doing all that while telling us plebs to stay in our pod and eat the bugs. So there is all that too, including the hypocrisy of you jet setting on your private jets.
When the politicians in Washington don't care.
Politicians in Washington don't care.
Exactly what I said in my movie Kindergarten Cop to the kids. Stop whining. Stop whining.
Yeah, we could say the same to you
as
well, actually, Arnold. And again, a reference to the films there, guys, because let's face it, when it comes to the celebrities, it's idiocracy.
I know all of you are thinking now, I hope, that Arnold attacks Trump and says some really terrible things about Trump, right? But that's not my style.
Fuck you, Arnold.
Stop whining.
Stop whining.
Quickly in there again, another stop whining. That's not his style, guys. He's not gonna have a go at Trump just because they disagree.
Stop.
No, it's
just
not his style to have a go at people. What was that? Screw your freedom. Okie doke. Ta-ta.
I mean, I agree with Arnold Schwarzenegger on the whole people need to stop fucking whining part, right? And they need to fucking do shit themselves sometimes. But at the same time, yeah, I don't want to hear that from Arnold, right? Stop whining. Stop whining. Because he was a politician too. I mean, he knows the bureaucracy. Come on. You know that some of these people could actually enact change, but they choose not to for some fucking reason. Right, they can easily make the bills, but they know they can't make the bill because they have to have, right, all their other shit friends, right, fucking help get the bill passed. Oh yeah, that's the other issue, right, the House and the Senate. How it started, factory setting restored. Oh yeah, because apparently Jojo Siwa, right? She was lesbian, and then now she's not. I don't know, man. I don't know. Freeze Beach is dangerous. Don't you care how your opinions make people feel? No. Yeah, exactly. I don't. Mysterious drop in fentanyl seizure on the U.S.-Mexican border.
How did this happen? We may never know.
Oh, I don't know. Took 117K immigrants in the first 4 months of 2025. Damn, that's a lot.
Honestly, it is so telling and very terrifying.
Almost 1 million people in like the first 4 months. Holy shit.
Have really changed their logo to include their marketing towards queer.
I wonder how many people take plane flights every day. Codifying Doge cuts, GOP. Cut spending or draw 25. Republican.
Start packing now. Start packing now. Start packing now. Start packing now. Even if you're not sure where you're going, how you're gonna get there, what the fee is, blah blah blah.
Packing where?
Pack
what?
now. Start packing now, so when it's time to go, you're not running around trying to make sure you get everything in the right spot. Pack
what do you mean?
Sorry, but
what?
Please don't cry like that. Please don't, Brennan.
Please.
They would feel completely to blame.
You're still walking around with your
I forgot she cries
yeah, I fully
too.
intend on bullying you, and I don't care about that.
I should wear my MAGA hat more often. Oh yeah. That reminds me. Just a white male, nothing to see here. Why so many people are having strokes in their 20s, 30s, and 40s? We've never had patients so young. You see a toilet in your dream, don't use it. Yeah, what was it? Yeah, LeBron James's son? Yeah, he had, he had an unfortunate situation where he got cardiac arrest at like 2024 or something like that. Yeah, and during I think it was during a basketball game too. Oh yeah, that's not good. That means there might be some underlying heart complication or heart disease maybe. No. That might be happening. All right. Let's do these. The Maxwell Anderson trial. This one's happening recently. Began on May 28th, 2025. It's currently in its second week. Anderson, 34, is accused of killing and dismembering 19-year-old Sadie Robinson after their first date on April 1st, 2024. Yeah, what the fuck? First date? What the fuck? Excuse me. Prosecution has presented extensive surveillance footage, forensic evidence, and testimony from multiple law enforcement officials. I mean, she's of consenting age, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of shady. Focusing on movements of Robinson's car and the discovery of items linked to Anderson. Key developments, day 6, June. Maybe we should go from... yeah, okay. So testimony from detectives who reviewed surveillance footage and conducted searches of Anderson's home. So that's what happened on day 6. Evidence included a dirty sweatshirt found in a neighbor's trash can, matching one that Anderson was wearing in bus footage. Over 51 knives were found in Anderson's kitchen, but none had blood or other forensic evidence linking them to the crime. Small amounts of blood were found in Anderson's home, but none belonged to Robinson. Focus on DNA and cell phone records. State called 15 witnesses, including detectives, a forensic expert, and an FBI special agent. Surveillance footage showed Robinson's car driving an unusual path in the early morning hours of April 2nd, 2024. The prosecution argued that the driver of Robinson's car was Anderson, who allegedly disposed of her remains in various locations, including Warnemont Park. DNA analysis from the sweatshirt found in the trash can showed a mixture of DNA potential linking Anderson to the crime. Additional details. Surveillance footage. Multiple cameras captured Anderson walking near the location where Robinson's car was found burned. Footage showed Anderson boarding a bus consistent with the timeline of the crime. Forensic evidence. Bloodstained latex gloves found at Warnemont Park were discussed, though their significance is still under examination. No definitive forensic evidence linking Anderson to the crime was found in his home, raising questions about the lack of physical evidence. There's witness testimony. Pete Warbington, a tenant in the Andersons' duplex, testified about the noisy living conditions and his relationship with Anderson. And then Detective Joanne Donor conducted an informal experiment suggesting the driver's seat of Robinson's car was adjusted for someone taller, likely Anderson. Legal analysts noted the importance of the DNA evidence from the sweatshirt and the challenges of maintaining jury attention due to the length and complexity of trial. I don't know how long this trial is going for, but this one seems like an interesting case too. Yeah, the lack of direct evidence, yeah. Well, there you have it. Maxwell Anderson trial. I'll probably look back on this trial from time to time. And then, oh. Alright, I forgot. Let me put that in. I'll just put this like that. Alright, what do we have here? And then what we know about the mushroom poisoning trial, death cap traces and dehydrator, fake cancer, and a surprise invitation. How big is this? I'll just read this one. I'll read the Sky. I'll put the Sky News one in here, but I'm not gonna read the Sky News one, but I'll read this one. Mushroom murder trial, Australia. Erin Patterson, a 50-year-old Australian woman, is currently on trial for the alleged murder of 3 relatives and the attempted murder of a 4th by serving them a meal containing poisonous death cap mushrooms in July 2023. Patterson has pleaded not guilty, claiming the deaths were a terrible accident. Cross-examination by the prosecution on Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Patterson was cross-examined by the prosecution, denying that she had measured a fatal dose of mushrooms on her kitchen scales. She admitted to lying to police and medical professionals about foraging for mushrooms and owning a food dehydrator, which was later found with traces of death cap mushrooms. So there are certain mushrooms in the wildlife that you should be very careful of, right? Any plant, right, fauna, anything, right? Want to be careful of it. That's why there's classifications, right? Plant classifications and stuff like that. That's why we have books on it. It's because we don't want people to get fucking killed because of poisonous, right, plants. So, yes, be careful. Earlier in the week, Peterson took the stand to give her account of the events leading up to the fatal lunch. She described her struggles with low self-esteem, weight issues, and a strained relationship with her estranged husband, Simon Patterson, and his family. Charges and allegations. Patterson is charged with the murders of her former parents-in-law, Don and Gail Patterson, and Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, as well as the attempted murder of Heather's husband, Ian Wilkinson. The prosecution alleges that she intentionally laced the beef Wellington with death cap mushrooms. Trial proceedings. The trial, which began on April... Yeah, where did she even get those fucking mushrooms? She went... that's shit. Apparently she went foraging or some shit. Yeah, sure. Garners significant public attention with extensive media coverage and interest from podcasters and documentary makers. The prosecution rested its case on Monday, June 2nd, on 2025, after a month of evidence from various witnesses. Defense argument. Accidental poisoning. Patterson's defense team argues that the deaths were a tragic accident and that Patterson did not intend to harm anyone. They contend that she may have accidentally included foraged mushrooms in the meal. Public interest. Media covers. The case has captivated the Australian public with numerous podcasts, documentaries, and media outlets following the trial closely. The intense interest reflects the dramatic nature of the allegations and the personal details revealed during the proceedings. And there you have it. The mushroom murderers in Australia. And that is going to conclude it for this news segment.